Welcome, man. Welcome to Impact Culture, the podcast. Today, we're going to delve into a story of resilience, determination, and triumph over adversity. I'm your host, Philando, and today we have an incredible guest that embodies the spirit of overcoming challenges. Now, imagine that you were in a life-altering motorcycle accident, breaking vertebrae, enduring painstaking journeys to recovery, but instead of letting that define you, our guest not only regained physical strength, but he also rebuilt his life with an unwavering spirit. Join me today and welcome Jeff Jenkins, man, a dedicated father, a seasoned roof sales professional, and true inspiration. We'll dive into his story of resilience from the depths of adversity to the heights of personal and professional success. Get ready to be blown away with a conversation filled with wisdom, insight, and perhaps a couple surprises on the way. So without further ado, man, welcome my man Jeff Jenkins to the show, man. How you doing today, brother?
Doing good, doing good.
Good, man. So you got that workout in today?
Oh yeah.
Man, I see you in the gym, man. I was like, man, I gotta talk to this guy. This guy right here, man. Like this dude, man, is getting in work, man. Ain't doing nothing, just moving around. I see guys just outworking everybody, right? And I have my days, I'm like, man, look at this guy, man. I can't, man. Well, shut up and get to work, bro.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell myself, man. So, how you doing, man? How's life going, man? How's life treating
Doing good, man. Just staying consistent, trying to always be consistent with what I do, working out, family. Um, you know, a lot of people they get bored, they get into trouble. So I try to stay active, try to stay busy, keep that trouble down for sure.
you? I know that's right, man. So I see. Well, I mentioned you got a mean shoe game, but I didn't know it was like that, bro. Like, good God, bro.
Yeah,
How long you been collecting?
I've been doing it for a few years, about 3 years, I guess. I used to get a pair about every month. I've slowed down a little bit. I kind of got all the colors I like. So, unless something real hot comes out, I'm kind of slowing down on it. But yeah, I like the shoes, man. I like to wear them. And being in a wheelchair, man, I keep them fresh. They stay fresh all the time.
I feel you. Let me. What's your number one go to shoe, man? It's like somebody say, Jeff, I need you to come here fresh today, man. What you gonna throw on?
Probably gonna be some of those, one of these fours over here. Like I like these lightnings right here, the yellow ones.
Okay.
Yeah, any of the I like the fours. Fours is probably my favorite. So
What,
pretty
what,
much any of the fours.
so you always been a sneakerhead, or you just something? You said you recently got into that.
Yeah. So funny story. When I was young, I was born in South Carolina, but I was raised in North Carolina, and
Okay.
so always was a Jordan fan. Watching basketball back when the Hornets had Muggsy Bogues and
Oh wow.
Grandma Ma.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
so I asked my parents one year. I said, "Hey, give me some Jordans." I think it was like the Chicago, just the normal ones.
Right.
I said, "Hey, can you get me some Jordans?" For Christmas, and I saw a shoebox under the tree for a month, and I was like, "Oh man, this is sweet. I'm gonna have me some good shoes." I opened them up, and they were just some basic, like you buy them at Walmart, white shoes with that Olympic symbol on them.
Right.
And
Right.
I went to school wearing them, and all my friends were like, "Oh,
Oh,
look,
you
you
got
got the
clown, bro.
Special Olympics shoes." And man, I took them off, and I never messed with them again. But I always
Right.
liked shoes. But then here recently, I got it. You know what? I can afford the Jordans for myself now, so I'm gonna get them. So
Gotcha. Well, I
that
see
opened
you.
the Pandora's box.
Yeah, man. I see you got. I can't even count how many. Those not all even. That's the only thing that's in the camera sight. So that's
Right?
what's up,
Yeah,
man.
I got some more over there. I probably got about 40 pair, I guess.
I'm looking at 40 pair behind me, so I know you.
Yeah, somewhere in
Anyway,
that
hey
range.
man, hey, let's just jump right into it, man. Hey,
All
so
right.
like I said, I seen you in the gym, and I was always curious, man, like what happened, like born this way. What I'm saying, like always people have a lot of questions. So, can you share your experience about your motorcycle accident, how it happened, and how it's impacted your life?
Yeah, so it happened in 2014, May of 14. So coming right
Coming up.
up is the 10-year anniversary. Um, I had a Yamaha R1, which is a leader bike, fast, man. That thing was fast. And I was out just kind of doing some stunts, playing around, popping wheelies and stuff. and I ended up wrecking. I got thrown off the bike, and I was at an intersection in a neighborhood they were building, so nobody was really around, but they had construction equipment on the side of
Mm.
the road, and I end up bouncing off the curb, then bouncing off these big metal bobcats and backhoes and stuff, and
Wow.
yeah, it was pretty bad, man. I was in Raleigh working, and I would take my bike with me. Me and my brother would take our bikes up there and ride after work, and that's when it happened. And so I was in the hospital in Raleigh for like a month, which I don't remember any of that.
Mm. I
They just
imagine.
had me doped up. The first thing I remember is when they were putting me in the ambulance to take me um, to Charlotte. And funny thing is like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I get up, and my wife at the time, I was following her, our locations, and I looked, and she was like, it says she was right on top of me, and I'm looking around, I'm like, so I messaged her, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? She's like, I'm sleeping. It's 4 in the morning, and I didn't realize what time it was. I said, well, look, I'm ready to go. I got to go to work tomorrow. She's like, honey, you ain't going to work tomorrow. And I guess
Wow.
yeah, I guess
Right.
they pulled me off the pain stuff. So that's kind of when I
Mm-hmm.
woke up. Then the next day they took me to Charlotte. I spent a month in rehab down in the Charlotte hospital, and then that's when the
That's
real
reality
work
hit.
started. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Man. So let's kind of tell me what motivated you to push through, man. Like I said, I see you in the gym, man. You getting it. I see you standing at times. So let's talk about that. But what motivated you, man? Is like, all right, enough, man. Let me get my stuff back together, man. Let me get back in the game.
Yeah, I so when I first broke my back, and I could feel my left leg, but it just wouldn't move. My right leg I couldn't feel. And then after about 4 months after my accident, I got a little twitch back in the left leg. And I said, "All right, man, this is it. It's coming back." And I was like, "Well, this leg's probably just going to take its time." And so somewhere some scar tissues probably blocked some nerves, and
Right.
and this leg's just not. So I got pretty full mobility in my left leg, um, and so what happened was about 2 years ago, me and my ex-wife separated.
Okay.
Um, it was I was in a hole. I mean, I was still working, doing my thing, but I'd come home and I want to lay down, man. My back hurt all the time. Um, and I was not pleasant to be around. I was
Right.
irritable.
I can
Um,
imagine.
yeah, I was kind of stuck in a rut, man. Life was like I was like, there wasn't much out there that really made me happy anymore.
Gotcha.
And so we separated. She was on some medicine that kind of anti-depression, anxiety medicine that really messed her up, and we started fighting a lot, and so we separated, and when that happened, my goal was I'm gonna try to get her back. And she had started the gym right before we separated. She was going right up the street to Planet Fitness, and I went with her a couple times, but again, my back was always killing me, so
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't making it all the time. And then when we separated, I said, you know what, I gotta get back in shape. I know I can do it because I worked out before my accident,
Right.
um, and I was like, I gotta not only show her, but show me, show the world that, I'm not giving up.
Right.
And, I said, well, and if I can't get her back and I got to start dating again, I need the girls to see something before they see the wheelchair. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Right.
I did that, and, I come to accept, that I was going to be in a chair long ago. The first couple years after my accident, it was dark. It was really dark. There was not a lot of hope there. And then once the legs started working again, I was like, you know what? I got lucky because when I wrecked the motorcycle, I broke my T10 vertebrae and I broke my
Mm.
neck as well.
Oh
So I
wow.
was that close to being a quad,
Right.
quadriplegic, no hand movement or
Nothing.
very limited, very weak.
Right.
So, I said, you know what? There's people. I joined a Facebook page for spinal cord injured people
Mm.
to
Okay.
learn how to adapt in the wheelchair. And man, that page taught me so much more than my physical therapy ever could, because you got people walking trying to tell you what to do in a wheelchair versus people that live in a wheelchair. So
Right.
completely different, perspectives from those two
Mm-hmm.
groups. And So I joined that page and I learned a lot. And I was like, there's some people in here that are quads that are posting and they look happy. If they can be
Mm,
happy, I
wow.
surely can, because I
Right.
not that I'm saying I'm better than anybody else in a wheelchair, but physically what I got returned is better than what a lot of people who break their back
Right.
get. So,
Gotcha.
I had to look at that and really reevaluate how everything was going and say, you know what? If I waste this ability that I have, then I'm just like flipping everybody off that's in a wheelchair that's doing better
Mm,
than me that can't even walk
wow.
or stand or anything.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So what are the things that you had to adapt to, like as far as the physical change? Like, what was some of the hardest things for you to adjust to it? And then of those things that were super hard, what's your most accomplished thing that you overcome? What's the thing that you're most proud of that you overcame?
So the hardest thing at first was honestly getting out of my own head.
Hmm.
I didn't go out for the first couple years very much. Might go to dinner every once in a while, but most time I just DoorDash, sit at home. So for the first couple years after my accident, I worked from home. Um,
Okay.
I've never had anxiety before my accident, but man, the anxiety about going out, like, can I get in the
Uh,
bathroom where I'm going? Can I get in the door? The
mm,
biggest thing to overcome, honestly, and man, this is for a lot of people that go through anything, um, is asking for help. And people
mm,
are they're so willing to stop what they're doing and help
to help.
anybody if you just
Mm,
ask. So,
right.
getting out of that ego and saying,
My
what,
pride.
I'm not better than asking for help.
Mm,
Um, friends would invite me to their house. I'm thinking, well, you got 2 steps going up. How am I going to get up those steps? And they're like, man,
right.
we'll pick your wheelchair up and then I'm like,
Wow.
oh no, that I feel like I'm a burden or I'm,
Right. 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 Right.
so getting over that was the biggest thing, and then understanding that I can still get in most places. Most places are handicap, accessible. So
Right.
there's not many places that I can't go and get in. Now, if I go to, somewhere else like on a cruise, I'm going on a cruise
Right.
next month, but
Okay.
so I'm a little worried about these places when we go like in Mexico, like how
Right.
adaptive are they going to be? So,
Got you.
but at the end of the day, man, I can stand on this leg and I can hop around and people can move my chair up a stairs or into a bathroom or whatever it needs to
Yeah.
be. So that was the biggest thing overcoming is knowing that
Yeah.
I can still go out. I can still have fun. I can still do stuff.
Right. Nah, man. Your spirit, man. I can feel your spirit, bro. Like if no one could see you from the waist down, they would never know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I can just tell by your spirit, man. And I see you over there standing doing triceps. I was like, look at my
yeah,
dog over there, man. That's what's
yep,
up,
yep.
man. So what motivates you? I know you said your ex was in the gym, and then So how was that getting back into the gym, man? Where I know you had some anxiety about I'm not gonna be able to do certain things I used to do. So uh, what was that like, man? What was that like getting back in the gym and then starting? Because obviously you're gonna think, man, I'm not gonna be able to make the progress I was making before. But how did you overcome that and just push through that?
So I started at Planet Fitness because they just have machines, and I was like, for me, that's probably the
Perfect.
best thing. Getting a machine, doing, where I'm kind of held in the seat and I can do my stuff.
Got you.
Um, and then I was like, you know what? I didn't feel like I was getting anywhere at that kind of gym, so I joined Fitness Connection down in Indian Trail,
Okay.
and I went there. And at first, I'd kind of mix it between machines and stuff. I on my right side from my hip down is numb. So doing things like a flat bench press is still
Mm.
difficult to this day because I always
Because
feel
that
like I'm
balance,
leaning this
right?
way.
Right.
Yeah. It's hard to hold that balance when you can't feel one side.
Got you.
So like, but I love the incline because it kind of holds me in there and I don't have
Got
to
you.
worry about rolling off. So it took a few months of learning what exercises I can do. I like to do dumbbell work, but I've kind of grown past what I can pick up and
Right.
have to sling back because I can't do the
You don't
leg
want
bang
that
like
chair to go.
everybody else
You don't want
does. Yeah,
that.
so
You get a little too
um,
strong.
right, right. So that's the only downfall of it, I guess. Um, so I again asking for help. Anybody in the gym. I've never had anybody look at me crazy. They're
Oh
like, "Hey,
no,
can you
people,
help
that's
me?"
one of the best places in the
Yeah,
world, bro.
absolutely. They're willing to help me. They're willing to stop their workout to come spot me or help get some dumbbells in my hands or something.
Right.
Um, and then uh after a couple months in the gym, I realized like I can do this. Like I can do 90% of what everybody else can do. Now you're not going to see me doing the squats with the regular bar. If I can do squats on a Smith machine, you're not going to see me do like the Bulgarian
Right,
squats and
right.
stuff. Yeah, I won't be doing that kind of stuff. But
Right.
at the end of the day, I never really liked legs anyway. So you know what I mean. I
So
can
it worked out.
I got an excuse to slack off
Like,
on
you know
legs.
what? I can't train legs. I can't train.
That's right. That's right. So,
So
but
what?
like
That's dope.
today I did legs. I did legs and shoulders. So, I still get on the machine and I push it with the one leg. Um,
Okay.
I do the machines for legs pretty much is all I do. And
Right.
because this leg I still, I got it's gonna have to support me literally for
Right.
the
Right.
rest of my life, unless something happens with this one. So um, I try to keep it strong. My calves, man, I don't know what's going on. My calves can't do anything. I don't know if all the muscles just aren't firing down there or anything, but
Right.
I
Right.
can't even use any of the machines with no weight. So I don't know what
Right.
I'm doing with that. Yeah.
You got the quad. So let's
That's
take one
right.
step. So let me ask you:
Exactly.
when were you able to stand? Like, because I see you standing doing exercises. How long
Yeah.
did that process take?
So when you have a spinal cord injury, a lot of times it's what's called spinal shock. So when your spinal cord gets hit, it kind of just freezes everything up, for protection. Um, Generally, that's over in about 3 to 6 months. That shock and the swelling goes down, so then the nerves are able to kind of, do what they need to do. So about 3 months, I got a twitch, and then I kept working on it. Basically, all I could do was like kick my leg out, hold it up, and kick it out. That's all I could do at first.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it took me so my accident was in May. In about July is when that started happening again. And man, it was coming fast. Like I was surprised at how many more muscles were starting to activate with the little bit of exercise I could do. And then I was like, man, I'd like to drive again. So for most paraplegics, you drive with hand
Mm.
controls. All right. So they get in, they drive with their hands. And I was like, I can do that, but you got to do this course and then pay for the stuff and then all this other stuff. And I was like, well, man, this leg's coming back now. It's my left leg, so for driving it would be better with
That's
my
gonna be
right
hard.
leg.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
so
right,
I kind of
right.
sit a little, turn a little bit and drive with my
Sideways.
left
Okay.
leg. But I said that year in 2014, I said my goal is to be able to drive my car uh,
Mm.
by the end of the year. And sure enough, about December came around, and I was feeling comfortable. And I didn't drive a lot, because my leg was still slow. And then it was probably about another 6 months before I was really comfortable. Now,
Mm-hmm.
during that whole time, I would stand up. Standing when you're paralyzed, standing is great for circulation. Just really good for your whole body. Fighting osteoporosis, that's something I got to worry about in this leg. Um, and so I could stand, but my leg or my foot was numb on half of it, and so it always felt like I was standing on a beam, and that beam was just driving into the center of my foot. So I could only stand for a couple minutes at a time, and then that couple minutes turned into 5 minutes, turned into 10 minutes, and I mean I was just standing up as much as I could. And then now I could stand with the best of them, so I could stand pretty much as long as I need to. My leg has gotten